Tell the people something good.
You know what? You know what's good right now is we're sipping life. And what I mean by that is we're basically putting in what's going to come out. So we're putting in good things of nature, positive things of nature, healing things of nature, healing. So we're putting that stuff in and going to let it come out. And whoever shows up, they show up and they get to be a part of that life and that experience and that joining together with people who are going towards that love, that positivity, that life. All right? So that's what we're doing here. First time of 2021. So let's get it. Let's get it. It's a TV show cartoon. Yeah, get them lemons and those oranges were about a juice right there. Nice and
fresh. Fresh. What's up, y'all? This is Speak Your Life Podcast. I'm your host, Andre. You already know what it is. Make sure you follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And today's special guest, I mean, he really doesn't need an introduction from me, but to y'all, he needs an introduction. This is my man. We go way back, all the way to Harding University when we met back 2013. In the cafeteria, and
my man remember the moment.
And so
I actually
knew
like, about you before then, though.
We're gonna talk about that. But anyways, to introduce you guys to him, he has, again, been a friend of mine for some time now. Originally from Sacramento, California, here in the Sac town, as we are sitting and enjoying this lovely day. But also, he studied psychology. He studied biblical studies at Harding University and has now started his own business as the founder and chief executive officer of Sip of Life Smoothies. Please welcome my friend Stanley Winters.
What's going on, brother, man? Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this, man. Yeah.
So,
and you came all the way out from Atlanta, man, just to be here for, this whole weekend and how special it was. And it's funny, I think we've talked about this weekend maybe 2 or 3 times before. I'm supposed to be doing a launch. I'm supposed to be doing this.
And it's like, it didn't happen.
And then now we're here and the momentum's moving. And it's,
we shift this over a little bit.
And I just think that's something that's, it's kind of a struggle at times, but it's something that's also reassuring. It's like, man, it's difficult. You have those times where it's like you try to get something done and it doesn't work out, and you're like you're trying to go for it, and it's like not the time. But then when it is the time, it's rolling. Like that, when it is your time, it's gonna go. No one's gonna be able to stop you. There won't be anything that can get in the way of you once God is really going for you. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we call it Sip of Life, play on the word bread of life. So
man, and as you mentioned that, we got one more thing. Hold up.
My second one, and then I've already had an orange juice. So
wait, this is only your second smoothie?
Yeah, this is like my second one.
Oh, of the day?
Of the day.
Okay.
Like I had a smoothie.
Sip of Life, cheers.
As a matter of fact, I was testing out the smoothie. I was testing out the smoothies, making sure everything was right. So I already started feeling the nutritious effects of the smoothies.
Wow, man. So Sip of Life, we're having a Sip of Life, but are you ready to speak your life? How about that?
Ready to speak your life.
Are you ready to speak your life?
You know what, that sounds a little bit deeper than just sipping life. It sounds like you need to sip life so that you can speak life. I think you
can do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's possible. And so you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Now, hold on. First of all, let me get my sip of life.
That's right. You got to get your sip on. So, we always talk about the 2 most important things in someone's life, as Mark Twain talks about, the day somebody was born and the journey to knowing why. So give us that, give us that win and give us that journey that led you to the why.
You know what's so crazy about what you just said, bro? I didn't even know we were going here, but the reason, when you talk about the why, the reason I even started Simple Life Smoothies is really because of my mental health struggles. And a lot of people, met me after my mental health struggles, but at 19, I was suicidal. I was hospital watch. I was on all types of medications. I was seriously considering just dropping out of college and school altogether. And so basically what's just developed from then is I developed an eating disorder where I couldn't eat. I would go days without eating, days without drinking.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out a way to get nutrients in my body, regardless of the fact that I was not able to eat. Like, my body would not let me swallow food. And that's why I understand and relate to people who say they have eating disorders and mental health disorders. So this really was birthed out of my pain. Nights of crying, nights of nightmares, nights of just wanting to die, suicidal thoughts. This was birthed out of that. And so to kind of say why the purpose of why you're here, when I was in the hospital on suicide watch, I basically realized, I was like, man, I have to change from the inside out. I had to change from the inside out, and it started a whole process for me of shifting my mindset. And when it came to my eating, I realized that this was one of the only things that I could actually eat, even if I didn't feel like eating, was drinking a smoothie. So I encourage you guys, those of you who struggle with mental health, depression, any of those things, get yourself a smoothie, get yourself some nutrients, and just sip on it, because it's easier than if you're struggling with actually eating. So that's kind of when I realized what I was supposed to be doing as far as in the business aspect of what I was like. I need to turn my pain into some payments.
Turn your pain into payments. I love it.
And that's what we just did. I mean, we just were out here. And we had a good showing. I mean, we had plenty of people coming out here who were just like, man, I just got off the baseball field, just got done working out. I'm so glad you guys are here with the smoothies, with this or that. What are you guys doing? It's a beautiful thing to see that process. But God can take your pain and make payments.
That's right.
That's on fly, man.
Wow. Yeah. So we have so many examples of that. From it could be biblical stories or historical things that we've seen in like books growing up. And what do you feel like are some of your inspirations, or some of the people that you see that stuck out to you, that inspired you, that turned their pain into something that not only profited them but other people?
Wow, that's some deep stuff there.
Yeah, maybe it could be one or two people maybe that come to mind.
Yeah, that took their pain and turned it into profit. Oh man. And
when I say profit, I don't mean just like
not
monetary,
just financial,
but like how it benefited, how it brought value to not only it could be yourself, but also to others as well. Right.
Right off the bat, somebody I think of is Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
Because Nipsey Hussle was somebody who he had a lot of those issues with dealing with trying to have that independence and do business, and also dealing with law enforcement, and he still pushed through. He still was pushing through. So that was inspirational to see all of that stuff happen and him be successful with it. He was successful with his business ventures, and then he turned around and told other young black men and black women, you can be successful too, and no one can hold you back. So that was powerful to be able to experience that. And that was inspiration for me. Another person that's coming to mind is my sister. Because she, me and her went to college together at Azusa Pacific, and I was close with her. I'm able to see her go through different struggles and experiences, and move forward with strength. And that strength, now she works in a way where she helps a lot of people, in the LA area who are homeless or sheltered or whatnot. But she's able to do that basically from her own pain. So I've had that close experience, really relatable with my direct older sister. There. So that's one or two people. And then of course with Sip of Life, I look at myself and say, hey, I've done it now too, through the help of God, man, because it was God who has blessed all of this to happen. How's that orange juice, by the way, man?
It's so good.
It's good.
It's really
even though
good.
It was the last one. Even though
it was the last one. I was looking at it. It looked real good.
I almost didn't want to give it to him. I was like, he asked me, and I knew he hadn't had one drink yet, so I was like, and he's an investor.
That's why. And I'm an investor.
And he's an investor.
That's the least I can have is some orange juice,
right?
You
can have some orange juice.
As an investor, that's the least I can have.
You have a cup.
Guys, some
doesn't even have a shirt yet.
some companies pay dividends. This is my dividend for the quarterly earnings so far, 2021. Here we are at the end of quarter one. So this is cheers to all investors. But yeah, like you were saying, Nipsey Hussle. I think he's a great example. And I was watching a video, and it was Russ. He's musician and stuff like that. He was talking about ownership. That's a big thing that Nipsey Hussle represented. He stressed ownership so much, and he really not only was just a rapper and he did his thing there, but he also the thing that made Nipsey stand out was his ability to just give back and be so selfless. And he was innovative. He was selfless. He was just very focused, very driven, and not just it's just a rap pushing the album. That's cool, but he was also looking to make an impact, with things that he did with Vector 90 and connecting kids in the hood and Compton and Slauson, and stuff like that, to places like Google and Silicon Valley, and having those opportunities, those doors to be opened up that maybe didn't open up before had it not been for Nipsey Hussle.
Right, yeah, and that's really what we're trying to do as Real Sip of Life, is make sure that the young men are able to get out here, get job experience. We all know that young men, by the time they're 15 or 16, they're going to be looking for some serious work, to be having their little money to go buy their shoes and their earrings and take their little girl to ice cream or a movie or whatever. But they going to be seriously start talking about working at 15 or 16, and Sip of Life is going to give a lot of young men and women opportunities to get involved with this work in their own community, and then also to help build the community as well. So that's going to be a beautiful thing, and I learned that also from him. You always give back. If you get put in a position of ownership, that comes from God. He's the first owner. So if you get put in that position, it's a blessing from him. You can't sit there and basically start getting prideful about the position you got put in. You've got to stay humble yourself. If you're not humble yourself, God can easily take you out of your position. Easily. It's not even easy.
What he gives, he can take away.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, that's so true. And you were talking about giving back and redistributing opportunities and stuff like that. And you were talking about giving back to young boys, young people. I saw an example of that, real life with your brother, Jonathan, and he came out. How old is he now?
Man, Jonathan's 15 now.
15.
Yeah, right around that age.
Yeah, exact
right
age.
Around that age.
You just
and
said.
He's literally talking about, hey, I want to get a job, I want to get working. So now he sees I can make money right here in my own community.
Be with my brother.
My own people. Yeah. Untaxed when you work for your sibling too. Yeah.
Keep that on the down low. We keeping that on the down low.
No, but I'm just saying.
No W-2s around here.
I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of tips, hey, really go into that stuff. Family, man, it's powerful. And a lot of people, if I can say this, a lot of people get discouraged when they're starting a business because they don't have support around them. You ask a lot of people for support and help, and you don't get it. And that's fine. It doesn't mean they don't love you, doesn't mean they don't support you, doesn't mean they don't care. But you are becoming an owner. You're becoming something different. They're not becoming something different. You are. Yeah. So you have to go through the process of, okay, if no one supports me, am I still going to be an owner? Because that's the first test. If no one else supports you, are you still going to be that? And so I think that goes kind of back to ownership really being a mindset before it's just I run a business, I own a business. Anybody can say I run or own something, but do you really own that? Do you really, go
put your all into it?
Are you willing to risk something for it? Are you like, hey, I don't eat tonight if that doesn't happen? That's when it starts shifting for you in your mind. But in that process, you realize to own something, it's like a godlike ability, because man, to be able to tell somebody we're gonna do this. We were creators, because today, let me tell you something. Today we were out here. Within the first 15 minutes, there were people around. The first 15 minutes, we got the music going.
Oh
we stood there. Wasn't nobody around. Everybody, people were just kind of hanging out, sitting there. And then the people started coming. Hey, is those fresh squeezed juices? So cleared out the energy, and then the right people started coming.
Yeah.
Dude, is that this? Is that this? But when we first showed up, there were other people around and stuff, sitting around, watching, looking. Once we got going, we created something that changed the whole park atmosphere here. We're at a park right now, big park, lots of people here. But we decided in our mind to do something.
Yeah.
And then that changed the atmosphere around you. That's a powerful thing to do. And that doesn't happen when you're in a subservient mindset. It happens when you're in like a, hey God, it's me and you, and you're gonna have to help me with this because that's all it's gonna take, as an owner. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning the ownership aspect. You don't get taught how to be an owner in school. You don't get taught how to be an owner really even in college.
Even with the MBA or
even in business, right? You don't really get taught the ownership aspect, like what that is.
Yeah, I remember my business classes that I had in college. I didn't do MBA, but I just, I did undergraduate, bachelor's, and I was, in business classes and stuff like that. And I learned a lot of cool things, but I would say the majority of what I learned as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is through firsthand experience. And we talked about earlier about how you have to sacrifice. Some people don't want to sacrifice when it comes to having a business, and they say, I think it's like 90% of businesses fail. And it's true, because like we were talking earlier about how like some people have a 9-to-5, which is okay. I don't dog anybody for having that. That's respectable. But then the people who choose the path of entrepreneurship, that's not a 9-to-5. That's a 24/7. And I think it's so important that people remember that it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of relentless focus and just energy. And I think people, you can't be scared to hear the word no. You can't be scared of rejection, because I remember, you have your business here with the smoothies, and there'll be people who walk by who like, they might not buy anything, and that's okay. You can still give them good energy. You can still, hey, have a great day. Yeah. You don't have to, look at them sideways just because they didn't buy anything, or maybe they talked your head off, but didn't buy anything either.
I asked about 15 people about investing before I got my first investor. I asked about 15 different people. Some didn't get back to me. Some got back to me with I'm not wanting to do it right now. Some just said no. But when I got the first one, I was like, I'm rolling now. Rolling. But I could have stopped at 13. I could have been like, man, maybe I just need to go get a job. 9-to-5 it is.
Oh my gosh.
And there we go. Yeah, so you can't. It's like the whole digging for gold. Rich man who digs for gold. You stop right when you're right about to get it.
3 feet away.
You're right about to get it.
The story, I'm sure many of you guys have heard it, but if you haven't, the story is like, there's many ways that they tell it, but it's just like, there was this man, he owned this piece of land, this big piece of land, and he heard there was gold and he was digging for it. So he kept digging, and he went there every single day without stopping. And he got to the point where he just got tired. And that's understandable. As a human being, you get tired, the journey can be lonely, and you're just, you're wanting to just see when the fruits of your labor are going to come. And so the man gets to the point where it's his breaking point, and he can no longer handle the pressure, and he gives up. He sells the land. He no longer can handle it. Some people say, in some versions of that story, he sold the land. In other versions of the story, he worked till he died.
There's no gold on this land and left.
He gave up and he died. That was the other version of the story. But so moral of the story is, the man who came after him, the man who came after him was only 3 feet away. That's all it took. And he got all that man's effort and took all the gold. See, all that to say is just like, whether it be 15 no's, it could be, that 16th yes is all that matters. Or, you've gone through rejection after rejection, knocking on doors, handing out pamphlets, reaching out via email. But what ends up happening, let me tell you this too, you end up enjoying all of that
everything that you go through that's a struggle and painful to get it going, you end up on the back end, you enjoy all of that same energy in joy and peace and what's the word where you just feel good about yourself? You
have the tranquility you just have
about
like,
yourself.
I don't know. Yeah. And it's you know it, you feel it.
You feel accomplished. You feel like you and then you feel like you're in your divine self. You are doing what you are supposed to be doing on a not like a spiritual level, like I'm doing ministry in the moment, but on a spiritual level, like this is what God wants me to be doing in life, and producing and creating in this way, because you realize He's right there with you while he's look, if He wasn't blessing this could not have gotten done, because it was impossible. This was impossible stuff, like certain stuff you're doing, impossible stuff without God, you know. So you got to always keep that in perspective. I'm gonna keep talking about humility, man, because that's key. That's key. A lot of people can get prideful, and it's and
that's the downfall.
It's humility, man. So
it's because, like, you know, from yesterday with the you printed out the you had the big poster and
banner,
all that stuff. So you know, all those little things added up, and you think that the little dots that later on connect, it's like it takes you later on in the pathway to realize the dots that have all connected, and then you're thinking during the moment, you think this is a coincidence or that's a coincidence, when nah. Right. Ain't no coincidence.
You meet
this
people
meant to
along
happen.
the way. Yeah, the first person I met out here today, a good brother with his daughter and son out here. And I mean, he gave me some good tips about other places to go. So I'm just saying, you know, God goes before you. God knew who my first customer was going to be today, you know. God goes ahead of you, and you got to trust that, and just trust that you're being placed right in His will. And another thing I know, a lot of times in business, people think cutthroat. That's not the mentality I wanted me or my brother or any of the employees to have, because we're giving out free lemons, free mangoes while we're out here, free oranges. Like, we're giving out stuff as real because we really believe in what we're promoting. We promote the health. We really promote the health because we want that for people. And some people stop by and say, "Hey, I can get a free mango?" Like, they were so shocked, because you can't go to Safe and get no free mango.
No,
we had free mangoes for you. You know, if you want to connect it and sip with life. So we're giving out that positivity all the way around in health. As well. And one of the other things that I don't think you saw this, but we had the positive thought board. So anybody who came and got a smoothie or a drink could write a positive thought down.
Wow.
Peace is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Love is kind. Work hard. Teach a man to fish. Don't just
give him a fish.
Don't just give him a fish.
Eat for one
day.
They
could write down whatever they want. So now this is creating a collective community of positive thoughts, and being like, look, let's think, let's drink healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Let's be healthy as a people. You know what I'm saying?
That's really cool, and and that's why I'm an investor. So it's just like it's like whenever you're looking to, you know, invest, whether it be, I don't know, your money or your time into things, you have to, like, for me, I'll speak for myself. I look at, like, what does this company represent, or what does this person represent, the leader of that company, what do they represent? And I like how you like all those things you just said, that's a reflection of, like, what's really inside your heart and what's really inside your mind, and like how you think about people, customers, and seeing them as like a community, and rather than just like, you know, they're just another dollar to your pocket. You know, you to look at them as a number, then you treat them, you know, accordingly. It's the same way if you treat them like a human being, you humanize the people. You treat them like, you know, their family, community. And that's why I was like, I felt more comfortable, you know, investing into your business, and I just know that it's going to go far because of the energy that you put out there. You know, some people believe in karma. Some people call it different things. But anyways, it's just like, we all know that whenever you put out the good things out there, you plant good seeds, you're going to have a great harvest. So.
I mean, man, we could talk about Sip of Life for all day, because that's what 24/7 business people do. Is you're always thinking about it all day. Like we'll be it'd be like 1 in the morning and we'll still have something about our business.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to a whole other conversation, come right back to business.
That's right. You can be on vacation. You be on Cancun Beach.
But it's a whole different vibe with it. It's a whole different vibe because that's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're not trying to do a task.
Yeah.
Or like you are becoming this person. And so what I always tell people is I say do a business with whatever you are. Like I said, Sip of Life was who I am. I was like, I struggle with mental health. I have to drink these smoothies to get some nutrients in my body. Let me make this, let me do money off of this as well. Whatever you do, like whatever you do, I mean, there's something that you do. There's something that you do that's not a hobby. It's like you do that. You do that. Don't step on the court with me. Don't step on the paintboard with me.
Or the field.
Or don't get behind the mic with me. Like I do this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, you find your uniqueness and your specialness, and you got to believe that you are unique and believe that you are special. Once you can do that, you fly. You be gone. You'll be gone. You'll be gone.
And the great thing is too is that you can have a passion for something, but you don't have to be passionate about every aspect of it. And that's okay because there's a thing called delegation.
Right there.
That's so key because you had to have that with your brother and other people will come out to help out.
That helped a lot. Yeah.
Moving parts, management, operation.
I could leave and go over here, deal with a customer, and then he's still handling stuff here.
Yeah.
So that delegation is huge, and I mean it goes back even farther than that. It goes back to the community, friendships, the support, the family, the investors, because and it's the same way. Like there's certain people who I wouldn't want to accept money from. I wouldn't want them to be a part of that business circle with investing because not all money's good money. I'm like,
that is very true.
There's certain people I wouldn't want to be invested because I don't want to be answering to you and how you get down or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So it's about keeping that. You got to keep everything honest. You got to keep everything honest. Be honest with yourself. Yeah, be honest with yourself. Be honest with those around you.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that I appreciate about this man right here. As a matter of fact, I got to say it because I can't keep too many people around me who are like yes men or yes women or just always go along because I won't respect you.
Yeah.
There's no respect in that. I'm just like it's just too easy, and I'm I'm an Aries. I'm fire energy. So I'm like I'm gonna burn you. I'm gonna burn you if that's how you are. I need someone who can be like, okay, that's cool, Stan. That's how you think, but I don't agree with none of that. Because now I can respect them. I can respect them, and I'd be like, I don't hate you because you disagree with me. I respect you now more. And so that's something you want to have with any of your business dealings, with your employee dealings.
Or just people generally in your close circle like that, that you deal with.
Because that's what you become. Yeah. You become your close circle.
That's right.
You become your close circle.
Yeah. They say that you are the average of your 5 closest friends.
Right on.
I think that was a quote from Jim Rohn. And it's you have to watch who you're influenced by. Because like you said, all investments, all handouts, or maybe not handouts, but just like investments that people have, like
business dealings.
Business dealings are not all good ones. Like, because if like somebody's like, hey, and they're a drug lord and they hand you, they have $1 million,
right?
But it's like you can take the $1 million now, or you can struggle for a little bit, but have honest money. But it's going to. You don't have to sit here and go to bed and think about having your head on a swivel because you don't know who's gonna come after you, El Chapo or whoever. I don't know. Like, you don't have to worry about somebody coming after you. And so it's so vital that people have like a good circle of influence around them, and that's from mentors to peers all the way down to mentees. All 3 aspects, because I think you can learn from all 3 aspects. You can learn from all 3 different levels of life and different walks of life as well. Right. So. Right. Yeah. Again, like I admire, especially not just that we are peers and you have mentors, but also the fact that you're investing into your brother, who is like he whether you know it or not, he looks up to you as a mentor, and in a way he does look up to you. I can tell. I just by the way I see y'all's interaction, and that's so important because you are taking the time to show him, all right, this is how you do business, but also this is how you're also showing him love at the same time. It's not like you're just standing over his shoulder and just like always just nagging him or whatever like that, but just like you're showing him the right way, you're guiding him to the right way. So
right, I agree, and that's just thinking long term. I got to a point with Civil Life where I was like, I want it to last longer after I'm gone than while I'm here. So if I go at 67 and I have another 40 something years, I want Sip of Life to be 400 and something years. So all I'm really doing with Sip of Life is like really, really foundational work. You see what I'm saying? Like once you think in that terms, like, you know, if Sam Walton wanted to get Walmart going, he couldn't see what it was today. All he was doing was that thing lasted way longer now. He just focused on foundational stuff, you know, and so that's what I'm doing. Is I'm like, what's more important is it more important for me to, this last guy who just got a smoothie, gave it to him half off, man, it's the last couple of smoothies, man, go ahead and get 2 for 1. And somebody else would be like, man, you shortchanging yourself, you got to every dollar count, everything like that. But I'm like, what's more important for me today was getting out here with my brother, giving him the confidence to be back out here again in a park, public setting, making money. You know how good that feels at 15 where you made something and you got money for it? Like you're not gonna have to tell him not to go look for a 9 to 5. He's not gonna want that because getting a paycheck on Friday, it don't feel how like this feel great. This feel great. It's like, oh, you made those smoothies? Yeah. Oh, let me get those. As a matter of fact, let me get 2 of them. You want one, babe? Let me get one too. And you just selling your product. You're selling your legal. Product sounds
your
so,
product.
Product sounds so, you see how they do. So man, I appreciate it, and I appreciate Speak Your Life being here as well. And Speak Your Life always gives this angle. This is a beautiful thing you do, man, because you always give this angle of observation. You have observation, awareness, observation, and that's necessary. That's a necessary. That's a necessary trait of any event, is to, can you look back at the event, the relationship, the person, whatever, and observe what was going, review, self-reflect. That's what a lot of people don't do. A lot of people just, hey, I made it, we good. But Andre will self-reflect, self-review, all of those type of things, and so that's what, you know, Speak Your Life is doing too. So it's giving a great aspect of a lot of things that, you know, we think about in life, and we talk about in life, and it's giving an angle and an aspect and asking questions. One thing I like about all of these podcasts is you're asking questions, man. And I always say, I'm saying questions, and slaves wasn't supposed to ask questions. So I always say, like, we gotta ask questions. That's how you learn stuff, that's how you know stuff. If you don't wanna ask questions, that's a slave mentality. Like, the whole world is you're supposed to be curious about this thing, man. Like, I'm looking at the clouds today, and I'm like, these clouds are perfect. Like, how'd they get so perfect? I'm asking questions, you know what I'm saying? So
that's true. And unlocking your mind and just seeing the world, seeing different things, allows you to really help help yourself to understand the world at large, but also the world from an individual standpoint. Like the way that you deal with people from different cultures, whether they be of our community, you know, in the Black community, whether they be white, Hispanic, Asian, and you get to, you know, you get to really understand that, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there from different places and all this stuff that maybe have different customs of how they do things, but at the end of the day, people generally want the same things. They want love, peace, happiness, and so, like, whenever you know, people have, you know, they go out and they see the world, you know, they read books and they go out there and they travel, because, like, what really taught me a lot about, you know, what I'm doing now, and that helped me to prepare for being, you know, in the podcasting space and being able to interact with people, was being able to see the world, travel as a flight attendant, interact with so many different people, whether I had interactions with people in New Delhi, India, London, Paris, whatever, and asking questions about their culture, learning about who they are, what they love, what they like to eat, and things like that. And it helped me to understand them, helped me to humanize people who are different than me, and it helped me to just, I don't know, it helped me to just be more curious. I think life is more abundant, and I think it's more colorful when people were curious rather than just always jumping to a conclusion, because I think when you have a closed mind with no open heart, you can no longer you no longer grow, and you
Right. That's
you become
why
stuck as
to
a
get
slave
into the
in
kingdom, you got to go
shackles.
back to the heart of a child. A child is asking questions and curious and open to learn about anything. Like you could teach a child anything, and they're gonna be open to it, no matter like no matter how crazy it is. Look at children cartoons. It's like crazy stuff, but they believe it. They're like, this is true. This is life.
What kind is real? What? I'm going there.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that. So yeah, man.
But,
so since you can teach them, so that's why you want to teach them young, man. You want to teach them young stuff like this,
like what you're doing with your brother,
because then imagine what his unlimited mind could think of with this. That probably I can't even think of.
Yeah.
Because I got too many limitations now. You know what I'm saying? But he might be able to be like, Stan, why are you just talking about this going all over California? Why couldn't this be in different continents?
All over.
You feel what I'm saying?
You know,
like,
all over the world.
He could think in that way and be like, hey, we just need to get in different language, cultures, and stuff, and then we do that, and then he'll have the confidence to do it. This stuff will be layup drills for him by the time he's 17, 18. He's gonna be. It's gonna be a layup drill, like a vendor showing
easy
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's show up. We sell out. You know what I'm saying? Leave before closing time because we don't have nothing else. No products left. So that's what you look for. Is you look for down the line. Don't look for the right now. If you get into business ownership and you are expecting the consistency that you had with a job, you can forget about that because the business ownership, man, it's a transformation process. You're gonna have to change your mindset. You're gonna have to change your habits. Your habits are gonna have to be able to fluctuate on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? I heard you the other day talking to somebody and you said, they said, what do you do? And you said it's different every month.
Yeah.
And I said, that's the truest thing. I said, I like that answer. Because a lot of times
true.
people look at you like, oh man, he don't work. He don't know. No, it's like
This guy
thing in
just be
rotation.
traveling, and what is he doing? Like,
Is he homeless? They really start asking, like, is he homeless?
people think I'm a nomad. They see me all these different places. They're wondering how do I get there. But no, but it really is different every month.
Right.
It's with different people, different questions, different topics. Even though there's a lot of certain themes that are similar and the same, but it's all like it's different. Just like because I think you have to. I mean, I think I'll say this. I think there's a sense of which you have to have some familiarity, some like kind of system that you have that you have structure in place, order and organization. Because if you don't have that, then it'll be utter chaos.
Right.
But on the other side, like I remember listening to this podcast, and there are these entrepreneurs talking about how like the first couple of years. It's all about like creating the structure, the system, about following it didactically to the very point in the very detail. But after you get to a certain point, you trust your gut feeling because you've already had the experience built up, and then you know what decision to make. You don't see CEOs of Fortune 500 companies reading a manual of how to be a CEO.
Right.
They they learn the basics at first when they first get into the job or even before.
But at that point,
when they
you
get
don't
to
need
that
to
point,
be
they already
looking
have
at
the
stuff.
experience. Exactly.
Yeah, you can't be a great coach and then when it's 2 minutes left, you looking at the notes like what's the play supposed to be. You're supposed to know what you need to be doing in that moment. That's the championship team. Is you already know what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
But yeah, man. As we wrap things up, I just think that it's so important that people, again, remember that whatever you do, try to do it with the best effort that you have. Sacrifice, take the time. And it's like, because you had talked about like, I'm not thinking about this event. I'm thinking about the one 2 weeks from now. And I said, bro, I think you should think of it a little bit differently. Like, try to, focus on this one right now. Don't be like the LA Clippers. Like, you're thinking about the next game, but you slip up and lose this one
series,
right here. That's right here in front of you.
Right. Just conquer what you are right in front of. You're right.
And so, like, I was, Eric Thomas, great speaker. He was saying that, like, the same effort that he puts in when he gets paid $200,000 to go speak at a university or whatever amount, he will put that same 100%, 120%. That's what he uses. 120% effort for the free events he puts on at the schools. For kids, stuff like that. So, That's all.
Man, it's feeling great out here. The sunshine is wonderful. Do you have the sunshine? No, that's the orange juice. We got a smoothie called the sunshine, but that was the orange juice.
I'm gonna have to get that one next time.
Yeah, the sunshine. Actually, the sun just came out. It was supposed. So look at this. It was supposed to be cloudy today, and they said kind of muggy. Like I'm talking about early in the week, and I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be. You keep going with what you're supposed to do. God works it all out. Literally 12 to 2, it was sunshine. It was sunshine.
Wow.
If I would have stopped early in the week, like, oh man, it might rain, it might be, let me cancel or something.
Yeah.
No, you keep going with your thing, with your God-given mission.
Yeah, you gotta take the first step, and you just have the faith that it's gonna work out. Because you didn't really think. Like sometimes it's hard to think like, hey, I have this whole team behind me, I have this support behind me. From the beginning, you're just like, it's just me.
Right.
Just me, and and you have your thoughts, your ideas, and what you want to do, your plan. But as you put in the work, as you put in that, the energy and the effort and make the sacrifices, then people will see that and they'll respect that, and they'll be like, oh, well, if he's doing that and if he puts so much importance on this, then maybe I should, take a look at this business, or maybe I can become an investor, maybe I can help out at the booth, when we get, pop-ups here at the park. Yep. So that's great that you're doing that, and we always
got a long way to go too. We got a long way to go.
That's true.
That's the beauty of the ownership. It's unlimited potential. There's no telling of where your stopping is.
Yeah. That's
this
true.
thing can be in malls and libraries. You can have. We were in a gas station. I said, man, that should be a sip of life machine right
I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you start thinking like that, and you start being like, well, why can't my product compete with that smoothie? They got chemicals in their smoothie. You feel what I'm saying? You starting to look at stuff, and you're like, well, how did they get qualified to be here? So, and you start realizing that your own stuff is good.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when I was having my serious mental health issues, I was given a lot of medications. I was having a lot of issues with those medications, and the one thing that would work for me was these fruits and vegetables, specifically that kale. That kale was big, cucumber was big, but just eating that in
Alkaline
liquid form.
diet.
Eating that in liquid form changed a lot, and then I just would start drinking water with lime or lemon in it. So. Yeah, that changed a lot for me. That changed a lot of the mindset, I think. But I had to crash to get to that mindset and understanding. Before that, it's like soda.
Yeah.
Soda.
Man, I've been trying to stay with. The only sodas that I drink now is like ginger ale, and they have like the lower sugar counts, even though it's not perfect.
Special occasions and moments, but there used to be a time where if I was getting something to drink, I'm looking for soda. I'm looking for something that's that way. And now I'm looking for something that's healthy. I'm looking for something that's going to give me more life. Since we've been sitting here and started this interview, you've just finished that drink. How do you feel, brother?
Man, I'm almost done.
You got some calcium, huh? Finish that, and I finished mine too, because hold on. Got a little liquid left. Hold on.
You can't let it waste.
You didn't see none of the people who brought theirs today leave like half of it.
Yeah, you got to drink all of it.
No, I'm serious. Everybody who was there drank all of it. This thing is.
I believe
that's the thing is you get to a point where your product is good.
Yeah.
With your product, you believe in it, and you say, "Hey, I drink it every day."
Yeah.
I do this. So.
And hopefully you can have it to the point where they're drinking it every day.
You see, there we go.
So,
and I'm selling it every day.
That's right. Making money every day. But you asked me how I felt. Man, I felt really good about this. It's really good orange juice. I had some Tropicana. I'm not gonna lie. I had some Tropicana earlier today. Okay. When I had my Burger King breakfast, but
a little fast food.
A little fast food, but it's like I drank it, but I was like, I tasted the realness in this because the pulp and everything like that. I didn't have the pulp. I didn't have the realness when I had the Tropicana, and then that's you can see the the bottom.
And that Tropicana was probably made how long ago? If you drank it today, it had to be made.
I don't even want to know.
Let me tell you, that was made. That was made today.
That's right. I remember because I remember filming it earlier.
That was made today. So that's like you're getting the freshest exposure of the fruit's nutrients too. You're getting the freshest exposure.
So fresh and so clean.
So your
clean.
body starts feeling like, it's great. And then with the sunshine too, out there, man. Now we just victory lap now, man. We just kind of sitting back. We're talking about our stuff.
All right, Nipsey Hussle.
I'm looking at 2 weeks from now too, man.
Yeah,
I'm looking at 2 weeks from now. Now I can look at 2 weeks, right? I can look at 2 weeks now, right?
The victory has been won. So we head into the next game.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Right.
But yeah, man. You know, as we conclude and stuff like that. You know, we always talk about, you know, if life is like a house, what is one foundational piece that your house stands on? I know there's so many. There's like, you know, faith, family, you know, love. What is something, you know, what is something that you personally like that comes to mind that?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one between two. It's a tough one between two.
Then go for it. Go.
I can go for it. Can I give a 50-50 split?
Yeah, go for it.
The first one I wanted to say is understanding. The second one I wanted to say was persistence. But I have to go with that understanding first. Is it something that...
We're back again, guys. The battery went out on us, and we were at the other park, and we're here at this other park. So we're here to talk about understanding.
The understanding was based on the knowledge, but also the experience. So it's not just knowledge, which a lot of people focus on. Oh, you know, I've studied all this stuff. It's experience of saying, hey, I've been applying the stuff I know, so now I can tell you about that, and that gives you understanding. So that's why everything that I'm studying, I try to put that into practice. I don't want to just be studying and just be a monk in his room studying. I want to be studying and then applying. And if I'm studying something that's teaching me and growing me, then when I apply it, it should show that I'm growing. It should show that I'm bettering myself and things along those lines. So that's where the understanding comes in. And there's a piece that passes understanding the Bible talks about, but like, that's amazing that there can be a peace that passes understanding, but imagine understanding how much peace that brings. Understanding a situation, when you understand somebody who you're mad at, you don't get as mad at them. You understand them. They could still be wrong, but you understand. So I seek understanding in things. I seek understanding in relationships, in business. I seek understanding in customers. Seek understanding in how efficiency and networking can go. So understanding something, applying what I'm knowing, and then continuing on that pursuit of knowing. So that I can, you know, gain an understanding. I stick on a principle that my dad always had me read when I was a child, and it's, though it costs you all you have, get understanding. And I think that's deep to me. You know, although it costs you it says get wisdom, and though it costs you all you have, obtain understanding. And I'm like, that's just very deep. Proverbs chapter 4. And so that's just really deep to me. And I keep that principle in all things, whether it's business or whether it's personal life.
Man, that's great. That's amazing. And it's like, you know, finding a way to mesh those two, you know, mesh that principle, that philosophy, that way of thinking, that paradigm into all aspects of life, not just business, not just personal, but making sure it's consistent all the way around. So the very last question, we've come to the part where we've gotten past all the deep philosophical questions. So the question of the day, you know, is, what is your favorite smoothie out of all of the ones that you've made in your company?
I like the back to black.
Back to black.
I call it the back to black. We had the sunshine, the paradise, the goods, but the back to black, that's also one of our latest ones.
Nice.
But it's mango and the blackberry, and I can drink blackberries just alone. Like I could just blend the blackberries up, but the mango with the blackberries, oh my goodness, it's nothing like it. And the effects you feel after drinking both of those two fruits in liquid form, along with the kale and cucumber, in liquid form, you're gonna be feeling like you're connected with the sun over there and the sky over there, and you're gonna be thinking clear.
Wow.
That's what happens when you start putting those nutrients in your body. You start thinking differently than if you were drinking soda for that time or whatnot, and you feel tired afterwards. This makes you feel like you're more yourself after you drink it.
Wow.
And that's the way I like to So Back to Black is my favorite. I call it the Back to Black.
Back to Black, because you won't ever go back to the
Black.
other ones.
And on the menu, it's B2B. B2B.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to tasting all the other ones. And if you guys are out there and you are in Sacramento, and make sure you hit this man up.
Right.
Make sure you get a smoothie.
Sip of Life Smoothies.
That's right.
On Instagram, Sip of Life Smoothies.
Yeah.
Check us out on there. And, you know, if you don't get out to Sacramento, we will be coming to a city near you soon.
That's right.
Believe that, all right?
But anyways, even if you're not in Sacramento, show some love, show some support. Make sure you follow this guy on Instagram and all social media platforms. This dog just doesn't want me to end this, right? He's over there barking.
It's real. It's real.
We're really at the park, y'all. We're not kidding.
Just like in the last video, there's babies running behind the camera. You guys can't see that, but there's babies running behind the camera, and there's people back here, and people would stop, like, should I walk past?
Playing baseball.
And we're trying to do this podcast. Yeah.
You're grass cutting, like all of it.
Right.
So this is real.
But my brother, man,
But man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you.
We did this thing, man.
Yeah.
We did this thing, and I appreciate you as well. I appreciate the platform, man.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll have to do it again. And guys, remember to always remember that life without your why is meaningless. Be sure to follow the Speak Your Life podcast on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Speak Your
Life podcast.
Speak Your Life, brother. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We're really expanding our YouTube channel. And if you guys have any topics or discussions, point of discussions that you would like to hear, shoot us a DM at Speak Your Life, Speaker LYFE. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we will see you on the next episode. Right. But before we finish, we want to end it off with a nice note by saying Happy birthday to Stan the man.
Oh yeah!
Happy birthday, bro.
Yes, my brother. I didn't know what you were about to go into, a whole new segment.
he didn't even know this, but I plan on airing this episode out tomorrow on his birthday.
Oh wow!
So I want to make this a nice little special gift for you, because he was wondering why are we finishing the last couple of minutes. I said, bro, trust me, I have a method to my madness, bro.
Wow, okay.
Trust me.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just now getting it too.
That's right. So you gotta trust the process.
I'm looking mad. I'm like hurry up, 2 minutes, Andre, 2 minutes.
I gotta get back home.
I'm about to start getting paid after this.
That's right. So, anyways, y'all show this man some love.
Appreciate it,
happy birthday.
Appreciate it, man. Peace. All right, y'all. Peace. Speak your life.